Hi everyone, it's Gary here, and a very warm welcome back to the fourth official here on YouTube. I am always your host, Gary, and joining me, making their debut is a new signing here for the fourth official for the brand new season. It's a warm welcome to Jack Cranmer. Jack, thanks for joining us.
Delighted to be here, Gary. Thank you for inviting me onto the team.
Not at all. Now, with the summer in firm go ahead in terms of transfer rumours. We're getting names linked almost by the minute. And I think one thing that you'll all know, kind of following the channel over the course of the last year or not, is that Rangers are particularly good at not really releasing too much from their side. But there's an awful lot of names and a lot of rumours kind of being thrown about. So I thought it'd be worthwhile just giving you a little bit of an update in terms of what we know in terms of potential incomings and outgoings. And the big story that's kind of launched today is around Cyriel Dessers and links with Greek club AEK Athens. Stories originating from Greek media suggesting that AEK Athens are in significant talks with Cyriel Dessers and Rangers regarding a move this summer. Now, Dessers is turning 31. He's got 2 years left on his Rangers deal, and coming off a season where he finished, obviously, top goal scorer in the Scottish Premiership. It's very much seen as the kind of last big opportunity, I think, from a Rangers perspective to get decent dollar, I think, for Cyriel Dessers. Now, Jack, you wrote about Cyriel recently on your post out on X, and I think it is the time really that the Rangers are looking at potentially looking to cash in on Cyriel Dessers, and interest from Greece certainly appears to be very much legitimate. I've seen a fee bandied around anything from 5 million to 10 million euros. Now, I think 10 million euros is probably quite excessive in terms of where we can look at, but certainly in the region of around about 5 to 7 million, I think Rangers would be tempted to deal at. What are you hearing about the potential for Dessers to move out?
Well, we heard last year also there was a transfer rumour to Atlanta United this time last year, which looked as if it was going to go ahead. And Dessers himself turned it down after the club accepted an offer. So I don't know how much we can buy into the rumour at this point, just because Dessers has shown in the past he likes being here. Despite the criticism he gets, he seems to enjoy it. But with the new era coming in, and him having 2 years left in his deal and his age, it probably would be the right time for all parties to say, thank you, we appreciate what you've done, but we're looking for something different. In terms of transfer fee, it's a tricky one because you have some fans out here who are like, get him out the door. I done a poll on the Inside Ibrox X page based on what sort of transfer fee we look for, and it's really split. We had about 30 odd percent on the lower angle, which was 2.5 to 4 million. And then we also had the same percentage, a bit higher, going for maybe 5.5 to 7. Now, the in between fee didn't get much, and above 7 didn't get much, but it shows a split, which I think is there for Dessers in the fan base. There's a lot of people that rate him quite highly, don't go over the top, but there's also that large section that do not rate him. And you can see both sides. He misses a lot of chances, but he scores a lot of goals. He's a very frustrating player, not even week to week, but minute to minute, chance to chance. But I think we've got to be making a profit on this. I think a guy that scored 50 goals in 2 years, despite his shortcomings, you can't be letting him go for any less than you paid for him, because on paper it's a success. Personally, I don't think we'll be able to get close to 10 million, but I wouldn't even be accepting 5. I'd be looking to get between 6 and 7, probably around that £6.5 million figure.
Yeah,
I think
and I
that's
think
his worth.
and I think from Rangers' perspective as well, that money can almost be instantly reinvested back in a younger striker, someone maybe the likes of Dor Turgaman, the Israeli striker with Maccabi Tel Aviv. Reports linking Rangers with an interest in Turgeman. A £4 million bid allegedly has been rejected by Tel Aviv, who are looking for obviously for a little bit more in terms of that deal. So I think the more Rangers can get out of any potential incomings for someone like a Cyriel Dessers just allows that bit more to go to the Turgeman potential deal the other way around as well. So I'm with you. I don't think Rangers make a loss on Cyriel Dessers, having been top goal scorer 2 years in a row. I think he's still got high stock, scored goals at a high level in terms of Old Firm Europe. He's still relatively young in terms of, but he's not counting 34, 35, he's turning 31. So he's still got some gas left in the tank. And I think not only in terms of interest from a team like Athens, but I think there'll be interest elsewhere as well, potentially going back to like the Serie A. I think again that there may well be interest there, and that's also an area where I think Rangers are looking to do a bit of business. Nadim Bayrami, another one who I think we all expect to go out during this summer window. Links with him back with his former club Sassuolo. We're hearing potentially they're looking at maybe just writing off Rangers' remaining liability for the rest of the Bayrami deal to get him back to Italy. We're hearing similar stories regarding Robin Prepare and a potential return back to Holland for FC20, again, for roundabout the sort of money that Rangers still owe on that deal. So you can see that Kevin Thelwell is already starting to kind of start to clear the decks a little bit in terms of making room for players to come in. One other player we've seen a lot of talk around the last few days has been Ross McCausland and potential interest from Cardiff City. Again, a fee in the region of around about £1 million to £1.5 million we've heard mentioned for Ross McCausland, and that would be pure profit in terms of kind of PSR. So again, that's a deal I don't think that there'll be too many from a Rangers perspective that will be difficult to deal with.
Yeah, I think with Ross, he broke into the team, was it 2 years ago now? And you could see there was raw potential there, but I don't think he's quite kicked on to be a regular first team player. I think you could put Ross McCausland in any of the 10 teams outside the Old Firm in that league and he'll do a job. But I think he reminds me a lot of Scott Wright, where he's got some raw tools, but he just can't put it all together consistently. And I think we're better off, kind of just getting a fee in for him. But I would say, I mean, there's every chance. I mean, you look at guys like Scott Wright and Kieran Dowell, who went down to the lower leagues in England and, have shone. You should be putting a clause in there where you get a percentage of any future profit, because if he has one good season down there, he could get a big move to the Championship and you might make some money off that as well, which is just extra money down the line. I'd probably be willing to take a slight hit in the transfer fee to get that sell-on clause there in terms of Ross. I think that would be ideal. Yeah, I mean, it's just not worked out for Ross, but it is losing a player that's come through your academy. I'm not sure being Northern Irish if it counts towards the homegrown quota, but it definitely counts towards the club one, which would be a difficult loss because then you're needing to bring someone else in that's came through the academy into that first team spot.
Yep. One potential incoming is Peterborough winger Kwame Poku, who is attracting quite a bit of interest. This is a long-held interest from Rangers' side. We had Poku linked with us as early as January, but lots of teams appeared apparently in for Poku, including Birmingham City. And I think given the fact that we're hoping that Birmingham may well reignite their interest in the likes of Kieran Dowell and Ben Davies, hopefully that's one where the lines are open. I think for Poku to come in, he certainly seems to fit the model for what Rangers are looking for in terms of a bit of dynamism from wide areas.
Yeah, definitely. I think you've seen us go for some different options out wide. Rabbi Matondo has pace, but he's not got much more. I think you need to have a guy that can do a lot more than hit the ball and run after it, because you're not going to get the space for that in Scotland. You need a guy akin to Ryan Kent in his first few years at Rangers, where he's not the quickest, but he has got pace, but he can take on a man one-on-one. He can twist him out. He can get himself space. You need someone more akin to that than just a knock it and run player, which we've been guilty of, I think, especially with the likes of Matondo. We need different options out wide. We need guys that can hit the byline, cut balls back, get crosses in, but obviously still have a bit of pace. we've been too reliant on fullbacks, especially for, even since pretty much Gerrard came in, and we need to get players further forward contributing more, and especially from the wide area. I mean, Czerny was the first one I can remember in a long time since maybe, Kent, really for one season contributing a large amount of goals and assists was something we've
The same
not
with
had.
Seema as well, to be
Yeah,
fair.
yeah, no, that's a fair point. We've not had I'll rephrase, we've not had a permanent signing there that's contributing goals and assists. We've always had it coming from your Tavernier at right back or the centre forward. And you see it at Celtic, Maeda, Jota, they all fill in with goals. We need goals across our front line if we're going to, score the amount of goals and get the amount of points against the other 10 that's going to keep us up the top of the league. Because it's all well good beating Celtic 3 times, but if you're dropping points 6, 7, 8 times to the rest of the league, it's pointless at the end. You need to have a squad that are going to put 3, 4, and 5 past these teams at Ibrox and get the points on the board.
Yep. As and when we hear any more with regards to incomings and outgoings, we'll certainly keep you posted both here on our YouTube channel and also over on Patreon, where you can join us for less than £3 a month. It's www.patreon.com/the4thofficial. Very tidy first debut for Jack here on the 4th Official. You'll certainly be hearing and seeing more from him over the coming weeks and months. Stay tuned to us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and you will not miss a thing here on the channel. As always, though, a big thank you for watching. We'll speak to you next time. Goodbye.